Thank you for your patience. You ready?
Think so.
I think that's yours there, bud.
Yeah, it is. Okay, we'll go ahead and start this meeting. This is a duly advertised meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. In our capacity, we hear petitions for relief from the strict provisions of our city ordinance. In matters of this type, the decision of the board is final in respect that it does not go to the mayor or city council for further action. However, if you disagree with our decision, you have recourse in the court of record. We also hear petitions for variations of land use. In matters of this type, we act as an advisory committee to the mayor and city council, making a recommendation either for or against it. The final decision of land use is made by the mayor and the city council. Please call the roll.
Mr. Bias?
Here.
Mr. Alessio? Mr. Noctree?
Here.
Ms. Rohr?
Here.
Mr. Riggs?
Here.
Approval of minutes from June 20th meeting would be in order.
So move.
Second.
Mr. Noctree?
Aye.
Ms. Rohr?
Aye.
Mr. Bias?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
So before we get started, I just want everyone to be aware that because we only have 4 members, that is the minimum for a quorum, applications that stop here, and that is all of them are just zoning board votes for final action. You need all 4 members to vote in your favor. So if you choose to not like those odds for whatever reason, you have the recourse to ask for your item to be tabled to next month. But I just want everybody to be aware, so for everybody's cases today, that's the case with only having 4 members. So moving on, would be next citizens to be heard on agenda items. Anybody that would like to speak on an agenda item can do so at this time, but also know that we allow you to speak when your case is called. If you wanted to speak now, you could do so. Seeing none, we could go to old business for public hearing. We have none. Under new business public hearing, the first petition to be called is 2024-33. The applicant owner is Charlie and Sue Havelka. Are they here in attendance? The location is 512 McDonough Street. The request is variation. The purpose is the applicant is requesting the following variation to allow a gazebo in their rear yard at 512 McDonough Street. And that's a variation to reduce required corner side yard setback from 20 feet to 10 feet. The Zoning Board of Appeals makes the final decision on this variation request. Under site-specific information, the subject site is around 4,356 square feet and contains a circa 1889 two-story residence, 2 sheds, and a rear patio. Property is zoned R2 single-family residential and was designated as a local historic landmark in 2019. Same property owners received approval of a variation in 2000 to build the roof for the wraparound porch on the front side of the house. Property is located at the southeast corner of McDonough Street and Market Street, and corner lots have a required side yard setback of 20 feet along the side street. The owners recently installed a 22-foot by 28-foot concrete patio in their rear yard. The proposed gazebo is located on the existing patio and is 10 feet from the side lot line. The gazebo will be 4 feet from the rear shared property line, which meets the required setback of 3 feet for an accessory structure. Under surrounding zoning, land use, and character, the property is located at the southeast corner of McDonough Street and Market Street in the St. Pat's neighborhood. The property is surrounded by residents with R2 zoning. Under applicable regulations, section 47-6.4, R2 district yard and lot requirements, 47-17.3, yards required for corner and through lots, 47-19.8, finding of facts supporting a variation, and you could refer to the attachment for that. Under discussion, the approval of the requested variation would allow a 14-foot by 10-foot gazebo to be installed 10 feet from the side property line on a corner lot. The owners wish to install the gazebo on their existing patio and to leave some open space in their backyard The owners must request a variation to build the addition closer than 20 feet in the corner side yard. Property has a depth of only 66 feet in a total lot area of around 4,300 square feet, which is smaller than the R2 district minimum lot size of 7,500 square feet. The non-conforming lot size reduces the area of the rear yard. Other properties in the area, including the house directly south of the subject property, have main and accessory structures with reduced setbacks. A platted survey and plans are attached, and under conditions, we have none, and that concludes our staff report.
Petitioners can come up to the podium. I must swear again. Do you swear your statement to be true?
Yes.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Susan Havalka, 512 McDonough Street, Joliet, Illinois.
Please speak into the mic.
I'm sorry. Susan Havalka, 512 McDonough Street, Joliet, Illinois. Do you hear me?
Mhm.
Charlie Avalka, 512 McDonough Street, Joliet, Illinois.
Okay, do you have any questions for the board?
We are actually 12 feet back instead of the 10,
Okay.
if that helps.
Does anyone wish to speak in favor of this petition? Anyone opposed? With that, we'll close if there's any board members that have any questions.
I'd like to make a motion.
Second.
A motion for approval.
Motion, go ahead and read the.
Ms. Rohr,
Aye.
Mr. Bias.
Aye.
Mr. Nactry.
Aye.
Mr. Riggs.
Aye. Go ahead.
That,
Good luck.
that
I wondered
petition
who
was,
lived in that house. I wondered who lived in that house.
Been there 36 years.
Yeah.
The city did do research on it.
Who did all of the painting?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
next petition is 2024-34. The applicant owner is Jose Arriaga. The location is 1111 Catherine Street. The request is a variation. The purpose is the applicant is requesting the following variation to allow an addition to their existing detached garage at 1111 Catherine Street. Is Jose Arriaga here? Okay. I'm gonna push that one to the end because the applicant is not here.
Good.
That's the one who's not here, right? The next petition would be 2024-35. The applicant is Hunter Schmidt. Status of the applicant is the owner, and that is D&H Property Management Company LLC also. Location is 407 West Jefferson Street. The request is a special use permit. Under purpose, the applicant is requesting a special use permit to allow a daycare center within the B3 General Business Zoning District at 407 West Jefferson Street. Per the City of Joliet zoning ordinance, daycare centers may be allowed as special uses within commercial zoning districts, provided that the use is located not less than 40 feet from an other lot located in a residential district. There is no less than 7,500 square feet of outdoor play area for each child. The outdoor play area is enclosed by a fence at least 3 feet in height. This proposal meets all of these requirements. Zoning Board of Appeals makes the final decision on this special use request. Under site-specific information, the 1.15 acre subject site contains an approximately 10,000 square foot multi-tenant commercial building with the accessory surface parking in a 9,500 square foot grass yard. The building currently has 3 tenants, a social service office, a tax preparation business, and a maintenance business. The proposed daycare center would occupy 4,500 square feet on the north side of the building. This tenant space is accessed by the entrance on the west side of the building. Site has an existing parking lot with approximately 51 spaces. Parking serves all of the tenants at 407 West Jefferson Street and at 409 West Jefferson Street, which is under the same ownership as the 407 is currently unoccupied. Site is Zone B3 General Business. Under surrounding zoning, land use, and character, the property is located on the north side of Jefferson Street, west of the intersection with Center Street, at the edge of the Cathedral area neighborhood. This block of Jefferson Street has a mix of commercial and residential properties. The zoning and land use for the adjacent properties are as follows. To the north is B3 commercial zoning, R2 single-family residential zoning, R3 1 and 2 family residential zoning, and also R4 multifamily residential zoning, and they're all residential uses. To the south is B3 commercial, auto sales and repair. To the east is B3 residential. To the west is R4 residential. Under applicable regulations, we have section 47-5.2A, special uses in the R1 single-family residential district, 47-13.2A, special uses in the B3 district, and section 47-5.2C, criteria for issuance of a special use permit. And you could refer to the attachment for that. Under discussion, the petitioner is requesting approval of a special use permit to allow a daycare center for Anointed Child Care Academy in the existing commercial building at 407 West Jefferson Street. Daycare centers are allowed as special uses within commercial districts with approval from the Zoning Board of Appeals. Anointed Child Care Academy is currently licensed to operate in Joliet at 300 Ruby Street. Business owner wishes to relocate to the proposed location to be able to serve more children, and due to the declining physical condition of the building they are currently in lease with. The proposed daycare center would serve up to 72 children between the ages of 1 month and 12 years, including school-aged children in before and after care. Facility will have approximately 15 staff members. Hours of operation would be Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The tenant space will be remodeled to contain 5 classrooms, bathroom facilities, a kitchen, a check-in area, and office space. The outdoor play area will be located on the existing grass area north of the parking lot and encompass approximately 5,000 square feet. Perimeter of the play area will be at least 40 feet from the adjacent residential lots and will be enclosed by a 4-foot fence. The current daycare center license would be transferred to the new location once the Department of Children and Family Services, DCFS, approves the new facility. Existing parking is shared among the site tenants and is adequate to meet the needs of the combined uses. Parking lot has 3 one-way drive aisles, 2 entrances, and 1 exit off Jefferson Street. Parents and guardians would drop off children in front of the main entrance by entering at the eastern driveway and exiting through the middle driveway. Plat of survey, site plan, and floor plan are included as attachments. Under conditions, if the zoning board desires to approve this special use permit, the following conditions would be included. 1, that an outdoor play area shall be provided that includes not less than 7,500 square feet per each child using the area at any one time. 2, that the outdoor play area shall be enclosed by a fence at least 4 feet in height. 3, the special use needs to be obtained and a certificate of occupancy within 180 days of the affected date. And lastly, should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and a possible revocation of the special use permit. And that concludes our staff report.
Petitioner present. Please come up to the podium. I must swear you in. Do you swear your statements to be true?
I do.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Hunter Schmidt, 16608, 135th Street, Lamont, Illinois.
Do you have any questions for the board?
Nope.
Okay, does anyone wish to speak in favor or against? Are you going to speak, ma'am?
I'm the owner of the daycare center. I'm not sure if you wanted me up here.
If you're going to speak, then we do have to swear you in.
Yes.
Let's swear you in.
Elise Boyd.
Do you swear your statement to be true?
Yes.
And go ahead and give your name and address.
Elise Boyd Johnson, 2216 Preston Lakes Court, Plainfield, Illinois.
Okay. Is there anyone in favor of this petition? Is there anyone oppose it? We'll close the petition then and ask the board for a recommendation.
Just before, how long, you say you presently own a daycare?
Yes, we've been in Joliet for 9 years on the corner of Ruby and Summit.
Okay. And this location meets all of the state's requirements?
Yes, I currently have a license and we're open right now as we speak. I'm just trying to move it.
Okay. All right.
I do have a question. The the building that's labeled 409 up there. Have you been in talks with them about the proximity of the daycare and if it's, have you reached out to them? Have they said anything? What's your situation there?
Well, he's the owner.
Oh, you're the owner. Oh, okay. Oh, well then that's very convenient.
So we own 407, 409.
Okay.
I believe that's 4 parcels altogether. It's currently vacant right now.
Okay.
So I do realize that there are requirements from the state for other businesses that can be in there once the daycare's open, and we're gonna address those as we go.
Great to hear. I'd like to make a motion.
Second?
Motion for approval.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Bias?
Aye.
Mr. Noctre?
Aye.
Ms. Rohr?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
I just want to clarify, that was a motion for approval. You seconded the motion for approval, correct? Okay.
So that application was approved, so thank you. Next petition number is 2024-36. The applicant is Harris Investments LLC, Rowell Storage Series. The owner is the same. The location is 414 Rowell Avenue. Request is an extension of a special use permit. Under purpose, the applicant and owner, Harris Investments LLC, Rowell Storage Series, is requesting a second extension of a special use permit which allowed a self-storage facility located at 414 Rowell Avenue. City Council approved the ordinance in July 2023 with the condition that a building permit be obtained within 180 days. January of 2024, the Zoning Board of Appeals approved an extension of the special use permit for an additional 180 days until June 14th, 2024. The applicant's attorney submitted a letter on June 14th, 2024, requesting another 180-day extension to allow additional time for the applicant's engineer team to complete the final engineering plans for the site. The extension is approved. The new deadline to submit building permits would be December 11th of 2024. Zoning Board of Appeals makes a final decision for the special use permit extension request. The 8.28 acre site is located east of Rowell Avenue at 4th Avenue and Florence Avenue and is zoned I-1 light industrial. The proposed self-storage facility includes main building with climate-controlled indoor storage and 14 additional storage unit buildings. Development of the site includes the approval of a preliminary, final, and recording plat in order to consolidate all of the parcels into one lot. The preliminary and final plat, as well as associated vacations, reclassifications, and annexation of one parcel, were approved by City Council in June 2023. Recording plat still needs to be submitted for City Council review. The original staff report packet for petition 2023-20 and the minutes from the May 18th, 2023 Zoning Board of Appeals meeting are included as attachments to this report. Under conditions, if the proposed special use permit extension is approved by the Zoning Board of Appeals, the following conditions would still be included, and these are that the design of the buildings complies with the city's non-residential design standards. 2, that the fencing on the west and south sides of the site shall be decorative wrought iron. 3, that no barbed wire fencing shall be allowed. 4, that a landscaping plan that meets city ordinance requirements shall be submitted as part of the building permit plan set. 5, that a tree inventory and tree preservation plan that meets city ordinance requirements shall be submitted as part of the landscape plan. 6 is the 180-day clause to get started. 7 is, should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and a possible revocation of the special use permit, and that concludes the staff report.
Petitioner present. You swear your statement to be true?
I do.
Please state your name and address for the board.
Nathaniel Washburn with KGG LLC, 111 North Ottawa Street here in Joliet. I'm the attorney for the applicant, Harris Investments, Rowell Storage Series. Real quick, I think Jim did a great job of summarizing it. We came here, over a year ago to get this approved. It was approved. The plat approval goes for a 2-year window. The special use permit only goes for 6 months. We anticipate having the plat finalized and a recording plat done before that deadline, which is, I believe, later in December of this year. So we're just trying to get the two pieces to line up more closely than they do now, and our engineering team is still working on finalizing the engineering required to get the record plat approved by the city.
Okay. Does anyone wish to speak opposing it? And it don't look like anyone's here. Anyone against it? I'll close it. Is there any questions for the board?
Go on.
I would like to make a motion for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please call the board.
Got it right that time.
Mr. Nactree,
Aye.
Ms. Rohr,
Aye.
Mr. Bias,
Aye.
Mr. Riggs.
Aye.
So that was approved. Is Mr. Arriaga here? No? So,
Make a motion to hold it over.
yeah, that would be my recommendation.
So moved.
We have not heard from the petitioner lately, so
Okay. I move that way. So moved.
To table.
table to the
To
August
table.
meeting.
To table it.
You need a second on it?
Second.
Ms. Rohr,
Aye.
Mr. Bias,
Aye.
Mr. Nactree,
Aye.
Mr. Riggs.
Aye.
Next would be old new business, not for final action or recommendation. We have none. We would then go for public comment. Anybody that wants to speak on non-agenda items can do so for 4 minutes. Is there anybody that would like to speak on a non-agenda item? Seeing none, adjournment would be next.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
Please approve by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye.